Welcome back to another episode of What if Civilization Started Over. Last episode we saw a lot of wars, we also saw the Baltic Union fall apart, and Denmark falling into a husk of their former selves. Today we're going to see a lot more wars and a lot more exploration of Asia, maybe Asia, who knows. But we're going to start this off with Ukraine taking a little bit more of this land here. And they take more land and going down into Azerbaijan, the Azerbaijani area. But now you see a war happening. Greece wants some of their old land back that used to be theirs over here in Turkey. And they start an invasion of the northern Turkish country because they're the weaker one of the two. The invasion starts to go well until they sign a deal with the Romanian country, and Romania starts a small invasion into the north of Greece, capturing a major city at the start of the war, and cutting them into two. But Greece had no forces over here, and so they just have to rework some of their forces and be able to push back Romania really well and take back all their major cities. But this has the consequence of them losing land over here in Turkey. You actually see this. You see this southern Turkish country also invade into Turkey, which they start a spearhead going up north to this major city, which is almost at the gates of the city when northern Turkey is able to break them and capture all the forces and push them back. You see Ukraine join this war against them to get some land, which goes well. They did not have any forces out here. And this actually helps the southern Turkic country well. You see Greece fully pushing back Romanians and starting a small invasion into Romania. Not that big. They want to, because they just want to put up a front line here. You also see Ukraine try to push into Romania, but they don't have as well as stationed. But you see actually Greece able to cross the strait here and push in, which frees up some troops down here and allows them to push far deep and threaten their capital. You see Greece send a spearhead to the ocean, which is successful, to the coastline, which is successful, and you see Turkey able to make the spearhead to them, which is also successful, and they're able to take all of this and push into here, with Greece taking the rest over here, and they capitulate. And Romania surrenders. Okay, let's look at the peace deal. In the peace deal, you see southern Turkey getting a lot of land. Southern Turkey gets that much. Greece gets the rest of that, and they get parts of southern Romania, and which is kind of Bulgaria. And Ukraine just gets the rest over there. Capital gone. But now we're going to see a new alliance forming. And this is actually going to be the Triangle Alliance. It will be formed with Carthage and Greece for protection against Rome. I did that on the wrong layer. Triangle Alliance, Carthage and Rome. Carthage and Greece against Rome. We actually see another war happening. It's Sweden declaring war on Norway. And they do really well as they push in and push to the coast very fast. And they capture the major city up north. And Norway just surrenders because they don't really have great military for fighting. And you see the peace deal as Sweden gets the most land. You actually see Sweden and Finland fully finishing exploring all of the rest of Scandinavia, which then they decide on what to do with it, and it looks something like that. They just divide it up against themselves. We see Morocco exploring more into the south here, though. They don't take a lot of this, but they go down really far. But they take some of it. They go to around there and take that much. We actually see some people leave southern Turkey after the war, and they set up a new nation down here in the Kuwait area. And it will be this orange-ish nation. But some other people who want to leave Europe and stuff continue to follow the coast, and you see them actually set up a nation down here, and you see some of them set up a nation down here in the south of India. Well, north of India, actually. But then you see some more people cut across the Indian subcontinent, and they explore a lot of the central Indian subcontinent and explore up north, but then you see a new group of people forming. This, no, this, no, I don't like that color. This brownish nation will form over here in the east of India. We actually see, Azerbaijan expand a little bit more. I mean, not Azerbaijan, Ukraine expand a little bit more to the Caucasian regions. And you see Egypt actually explore more into the Sahara and other stuff with Carthage. You actually explore a lot into the desert. So you see Egypt taking a lot of this. And you see Carthage take a lot too. Morocco doesn't go anywhere into it. They don't like it. You see more exploration of Russian areas. And you see this Belarusian, I guess, no, it's more like northern Russian country, claim a lot of land. And you see Ukraine claim a lot of land. But Ukraine's getting a little too big for themselves. You see a rebellion pop up in the east. And it looks something like that. But they don't just have one rebellion popping up. They have another rebellion, this new Caucasian rebellion popping up. Which actually you see the southern Turkic nation take this at their advantage and invade into the parts that Ukraine took from the old northern Turkish nation. And Ukraine signs a peace deal with them, and the peace deal, it's basically their borders that they have now, but it just includes what they wanted there. Let me add capitals in major city. Let me add also capitals for these new nations. I have not done that yet. Is that all the nations? Okay. And so their capital will be there, 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 Theirs will be right there. And theirs is right there. We actually see another alliance forming. And this is the Circle Alliance between the Germanic nation and Poland. This Germanic nation is a new one, but they're pretty strong from being post-Denmark, which Denmark was one of the most powerful nations, but got destroyed. We actually see Egypt explore down the Arabian Peninsula a lot, and more into the actual peninsula, but you see them also claim a lot of that land. You see Iberia declaring war on southern Iberia, and they push in for a major city, and they do another push for that major city. But this is actually a calculated attack with Carthage joining in and taking their southern part here. They're able to make Iberia is able to make a calculated front line and push down to this major city in the south. And you see Carthage is able to make a landing on the coast over here. And Iberia surrenders. And the peace deal looks like Carthage getting that, and northern Iberia getting a lot of land. But also, with this deal, Iberia joins the Triangle Alliance with Carthage and Greece. But for protection, southern Iberia joins the Square Alliance. You see the Red Nation actually you see Britain try an invasion of Ireland. They land in the south, but it gets squashed really fast. And they try another invasion in the north, but it gets squashed fast. But then they try one more thing once they send 3 invasions in and then capture one major city. The first one gets squashed, but the other one is able to make a front line with the one targeting the major city, and they're able to set up a good front line in Ireland, which they're able to hold out a little until they're able to make an attack from the back, which frees up from the soldiers here for them to push in, and this is basically just the downfall of Ireland. But Ireland signs a deal with Britain. And let's look at the deal. The deal is Britain gets this southern province. What's the color of that city? Yeah, Britain gets the southern province of Ireland. Now Ireland is scared, and so they don't join the Square Triangle, but they join the Circle Alliance for protection. Actually, no, they don't. Ignore that. They join the Square Alliance for protection, and the Blue Nation has been known to help people in the British Isles against the Red Team. Okay, that'll do it for episode 6. Thank you for tuning in and watching the video. Tune in for the next video, which will maybe come out today. I don't know if I feel like it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.